What is up, and welcome in to the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. That's right, we are back. Good to see you guys.
Good to be seen.
Yes, sir.
To
Yes,
be back.
sir. Let me introduce everyone here. I am Ezra McCann. I'm a host, and I got my co-host here. He's a public league legend. He's a Simeon legend. He's a Grambling State legend. He played second base for the Tigers back in the day. He was all swag, and we got an announcement to make here. Ooh, he is now the head coach of my alma mater, the Kenwood Broncos. He is Brandon Williams, aka Coach Smoke. Congratulations, buddy.
Oh, man, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And we've got our just football expert. He's an expert of the NFL. He's an expert of college football. He is none other than Glenn Morgan, our GM. I'm sorry, I just looked in your background there. You got a Dr. J jersey back there now?
Do Dr. J and little
Wow.
Derrick Rose. Little Derrick
Wow.
Rose come through the
Wow.
slam.
Big time there. Big time. Gentlemen, it's been a while, man. Good to see you guys.
Man,
Um,
good to be back.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kim Wood, you excited about that, man?
I am. I am. I know it shocked a lot of people. It shocked me. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to
Yeah,
you. It
absolutely.
shocked me. I had no intention of going elsewhere. Honestly speaking, only debate I was having with myself is doing another year Simeon or not doing high school baseball anymore. Now that my son is playing, so that was the debate, but within myself. And then this came about, and it kind of like made sense in a way of okay, I'm worried about my son playing, but now I can consider him going to seventh grade in Kenwood, being an academic center. It's a lot of things that came into play long term by making this move. So, I'm excited about it. The baseball community that I'm involved with is excited about it. And that's one of the major keys for me because Kenwood, I mean, whether people like to hear it or not, that aren't Kenwood alum, Kenwood is somewhere that people want to be, and for me, that I mean, it only made sense. So no hard feelings with Simeon at all. Grateful for the start that they gave me. I didn't leave there on bad terms. They didn't do anything to me that caused me to leave. It just opportunity came that was like perfect for what I want to do moving forward. So, and that's why the decision was made.
Well, I've
Like
talked to
letting
some
them,
people. Real quick, I've talked to some people in the Kenwood community alums, and they are excited to hear about you being there. Uh, they know your history, and so we're excited and glad you're a Kenwood Bronco, man. That's outstanding.
So
I'm just gonna say, man, I'm not gonna let nobody call you Lane Kiffin. I'm not. You my boy. I ain't having it. I ain't having it. I ain't having it. No, no, seriously, congrats, man. My daughter's an alum of Kenwood as well, and the AC program did right by her and did right by us. So I hope that all works out for you and the family, man. So
Yeah,
congrats, bro, for real, on a
man,
real tip.
appreciate it.
Also, congrats on the ace. You guys
Yeah.
won a national title
Mhm.
this past weekend or two
Yeah,
weekends ago.
last week.
Okay.
Last week Friday. Last
Yeah.
Friday. Yep. So
So
almost a week ago.
So congratulations on that as well, man.
Man,
You're doing
appreciate it.
big things out there, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. This has been a different summer for me. Like different summer with the Kenwood situation, and then the team that I coached this summer with the White Sox was one of them teams that's known nationally, and so we went to Arizona, we went to Alabama. Of course, we had the RBI World Series, played in some real elite tournaments across the country, and so to finish 32-5, was big. So it was busy though. It was busy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, let's get to it real quick. I know, Glenn, you got to be on the run here. You got some things to take care of. So let's start. We're going to talk Bears today. The Bears, I guess they didn't really break news today. They,
Or ground.
or yeah, they definitely didn't break any ground. They bruised some news or maybe sprained it. I don't know. But let's start with the stadium. Kevin Warren and George McCaskey came out today and said that their sole focus now is on Hammond, Indiana. Right. But they can still talk to Illinois. It's
Of course.
still out there.
That's hasn't that been said
That's
a
Yes.
few times?
that's why I said they didn't break
Yes.
any news today.
Like, I feel like that's the same thing you've been saying.
Just want to
So
let Illinois know again. Like we're just saying, we really like Indiana.
Like clearly they ain't taking the hands.
here's
So
the deal though. I've seen a lot of Bears fans out there that are a little perturbed and upset that there is a possibility that the Bears will go to Indiana. For you guys, does it mean that much
It's annoying.
whether
I
whether
mean,
Arlington Heights or Hammond?
yeah, I'd rather stay in the state of Illinois, in Chicagoland area. Indiana ain't Chicagoland, it's Indiana. you know, if they call it Chicago Bear,
I
and
I
I
just I
understand it.
disagree with that.
Uh,
I disagree with
yeah,
that.
okay. Look, I know when it comes to buying your car and it's Northeast Indiana, and they give all the commercials.
I go buy gas in Northwest Indiana.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I'm from Phineas and Ferb. It's the tri-state area. I don't know if you guys watch Phineas and Ferb or not, but that's Doofenshmirtz. Try to rule the tri-state area. That's what the Bears are trying to do. No, look, man. Indianapolis Colts. I mean, they left Baltimore. I granted it's not the next door state. I understand that, but you change your name to the Indianapolis Colts when you're the Baltimore Colts.
Okay.
The New York, New Jersey thing is a little different in a way,
No, it's
but it
not.
is similar in a way. It's a little different, but it is similar. You ask any of the gangsters out there, New Jersey, New York, it's kind of the same thing.
I've heard the same such type of stuff. I don't know. I'm just,
Yeah, I get that's probably the best parallel, to be quite honest, would be the Jets and the Giants playing in New Jersey. Uh, but it's just, and the Giants are as old a team or as old an organization as the Bears for all intents and purposes. So it's just weird, man. You know how provincial Chicago could be, and it's just look. McCaskey said one thing. At some point, people will adjust and get used to it. If they do construct a stadium there, and it becomes something that's state of the art. Once people get there and they get acclimated to how fantastic it is and the climate control and whatever and all ever, yeah, there'll be an adjustment period. And eventually, at some point, you'll have fans. You may create some new ones, you're probably going to lose some, but it just seems weird, man. I'm just going to leave it at that. It just seems weird.
I mean, I understand the seeming weird aspect because it's Chicago. Like, I mean, you don't want to see it, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Me, I mean, I prefer Hammond and Arlington Heights, and that might be selfish,
It's closer.
because if I want to go to a game, it's much closer. But at the same time, I agree with George in that aspect. At some point, everyone's going to get over it. If you decide to not be a fan no more, that means you wasn't really a fan.
right. What you
You
gonna you
you
gonna be a
were
Packer fan now?
you're fair weather. You were on the fence of leaving anyway. But guess what? If they start winning, what you gonna do? We're gonna be right back trying to see. Like, I mean, so it all comes down to the product on the field, really, when it come down to it. It all come down to the product. Yeah, we gonna get jokes from people elsewhere. It's about, oh, y'all the Indiana Bears now.
Yes.
Okay, so
I
what?
get that.
So what? I mean, we've dealt with many jokes. We have been losing, been the joke. We've dealt with this stuff. I mean, so what? I mean, I just want us to get a stadium that is functional for the fans all year round, meaning a dome. So whether and granted, if it was in Arlington Heights, I would be fine there too. I just would prefer once Hammond came in the picture, I'm like, shit, that's closer to home. If I want to go to a game, that's up the street. Hell, I might even attempt to just go up there and tailgate and just be there just because it's not that far, But so I'm with it. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, you brought up the other states that have teams that are not actually in that city or state. And I mean, so what's different now? It's just new. One with new things, it's always a hard thing in the beginning. After a while, it'll fade away, and no one will even realize Chicago Bears are playing in Hammond, Indiana.
I wonder though how much you mentioned it being closer to you, and I get that. And as Southsiders, okay, there's a contingent of a
Northsiders, yes.
financial contingent of those demographically speaking who may not want to make that journey from whatever northern suburbs, western suburbs, northern part of the city to come towards the south side or through east, northeast Indiana or anything else perceptively they may think about the neighborhoods they're going through, but also the distance that they're traveling to spend that money. Do the Bears run risk? And is that maybe low key part of the reason why they haven't completely signed on with Indiana? Is that there may be a financial base there that they're alienating?
That's something to think about.
That is,
It's something to
I
think
did
about.
not think about that.
But at the end of the day, I mean, the Bears have to do what's best for the Bears, right?
Is alienating that base best for you
Okay,
as an organization?
Indiana has already said that they will give you $1 billion in
Short
in
term, I agree with you.
financing.
I'm
In
talking long
financing,
term though.
I'm just saying the Illinois legislature doesn't even want to work with you at this point.
Hmm.
So what are you supposed to do? And you need a new stadium. You need a new stadium. You can't. I mean, you got into 2033 at Soldier Field, and that's it. Soldier Field. Let's be real. To begin with, was a terrible idea. The way they constructed it, you know,
Yes.
it looks good, but I always thought it was a terrible idea to tear down the insides of Soldier Field and then construct a spaceship inside of the columns just because it was a landmark status at the time, and then you ended up losing that landmark status anyway.
By doing that.
Yeah, yeah. So what was the point of that? But you got to get a new stadium now, before this lease runs out at Soldier Field, and we're wasting too much time here, right?
Yeah.
So, and I also I get what Pritzker's saying, Governor Pritzker's saying that he doesn't want to spend taxpayer dollars on a Bears stadium, which I wholeheartedly as an Illinois taxpayer I agree with. The Bears should be spending should be paying
Footing.
for their own stadium, footing the bill. If
Mhm.
if we want to talk about infrastructure with the state of Illinois, which is my problem with what the state's doing. I mean, at least give us that. But I don't want to spend any money on the Bears. So if Indiana wants to come in and put down $1 billion and do this whole rent to own thing and pay for all this,
More
have
power
at
to
it. Go for it. Go for it. I would be 100% happy with that. And I don't really have a preference. Obviously, for me being a South Sider, Hammond is closer, so that's cool. But I don't care where it is. Just get it done.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend my taxpayer dollars to do that. I know that's selfish, but hey, it is what it is. And that's not selfish. Now I
That's
think
not
about it,
It's
selfish.
not
it's
But
not.
more
selfish.
It's
selfish than the
not.
Bears asking for your money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's where I'm at. Indiana, if anyone wants to do that, I'm all for it. Why not? Why not? Um, you want to go? Let's go into some actual football now. Training camp has started. The first preseason game is Saturday at noon, Soldier Field.
Yeah.
Um, the
Yeah.
Bears, Ben Johnson, he almost broke some news, I guess,
You're talking shit
today.
early. He's talking some shit early. And I'm here for it.
I didn't expect Caleb Williams to play in at least the first preseason game. Um, and most of the starters aren't going to play. I think we're going to see some run at the left tackle spot with Jedrick,
Extend
yeah,
Jedrick
Braxton,
Willis.
Willis,
Jedrick.
and Amagaji, Ron Amagaji.
Sure.
I mean, they're high on him for whatever reason.
Uh-huh. They're straight up high on him. I get you.
My question though, and I know there've been a lot of injuries. Should we see some of these guys during this preseason um, before we get ramped up here?
Man, it's so funny because if you asked us that question 5 years ago, it's like, what are you doing? So I think it was still 4 games 5 years ago, right? Four
Yeah.
preseason games, or within at least within 10 years, it was used to be 4 games. And first game you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. But you knew games 2 and 3 at the very least, your guys are going to get in there. And now that's 3 games. And then the whole thing with Nagy when he got here and not playing Trubisky and what have you. It just seemed like, you know, in the face of someone like Brady playing, it's just like, what are we doing here? And it didn't seem to benefit the Bears by not playing. You're missing out on timing, so on and so forth. 17 games now that really count. And, all depending on what a team's bye is. And the fact that these guys tend to stay in shape more so than they used to throughout the course of the season. You've got all these mini camps. I don't know that I need to see them in week 1 and maybe for a half in week 2, maybe. And then week 3, figure out who you're keeping. So it really looks like week 2 is the week to really kind of get it in there. And with all the injuries potentially and how much it costs to pay for these players, I don't know, man. It's tough because you don't want the soft tissue injuries, but then I'm not apoplectic about it. But I'll say this: week 1, I don't need to see anybody. Those who are fighting for position, yeah. Your entrenched veterans, no. I think week 2 is the one that's had the most focus, and maybe week 3, your backups, like your core backups, get in there so that you have some depth that has at least some reps in place just in case week 1 something goes down. But nah, man, I think the way, and not only that, but also too, these guys, these teams, they play. What is it when they play the scrimmages with the other teams? They seem to get more out of
Inter squad
right in a
practices.
squad scrimmages. It seems like
Yeah.
they get more out of that sometimes than they do out of even the preseason games. So it's just a new age, man. Kind of like you just got to get used to how things are being done differently. I'm still not used to the kickoff, so I don't know if I'll be used to the preseason games being the way that they are.
I mean, I guess the linemen, I guess they're fighting for starting spot though, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean they
left
need to
tackle.
play.
So like in that sense, like you said, them guys should be playing because they're trying to win a starting job. But for the most part, I mean, I agree with GM. I mean, should we falling like goddamn flies right now with our injuries. So key for us is to be healthy for week 1 as best as we can be. I mean, so I could care less if I see him in preseason or not. Like, it's
Games
not
don't
that big
matter,
of a deal for me.
right?
I
Yeah,
get
go ahead.
you brought up Tom Brady. He was one that would play all 4 preseason games. Um, third preseason game he played through the third quarter. He would do a couple snaps in the last preseason game just to get
Get the
himself
rhythm.
acclimated. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if he can do it, and he's arguably the greatest of all time, why can't Caleb come in and get some
Now
snaps in?
I will say, I do wish to see the quarterback play some. I do wish to see that, but it's not something that I'm like dying over. And it could be a lot of like you brought up Nagy. Like it used to really bother me that Mitch didn't
Right,
play in the preseason. That used to
right.
bother because it was like, dude,
He needs
he
it.
needs it,
He
So
hadn't shown anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
The more we talk about it and I'm listening to you guys, I'm really starting. I think I'm settling. Like, okay, if I'm the head coach, how am I, deciding, disseminating, playing time, what have you. I think for positions that I don't have figured out, definitely those guys need to be out there. I think for your young guys and for maybe I don't want to say free agents that have come in because it all depends on their experience level. But I definitely think for the new guys and for free agents that may not be big names, you know, I think they need to come in and show and play. But I think for your core starters, no, I think you're going to get more from them in terms of the reps and everything, I think during practice. And I think you need to be healthy going into the season. It's something to be said for being in rhythm, but it's 17 games. It's a little different than it used to be, and you can wear yourself out. You can do something to where and then how do you explain an unnecessary injury during preseason? It's like if you had sat them out, that's the thing that's going. It's like, man, if I hadn't had that extra quarter of them in there, maybe they're not hurt because they're playing on this surface, and they wouldn't be playing on that same surface if they're doing during practice or whatever. You can if this, that, or the other forever, but I'm really more inclined to believe that going forward, you're going to get more from your team because you know what you want. You can be more specific about what you're doing, work on things, but you need to improve the depth for your team. That depth needs to understand the system more, and they're going to get more reps and more out of playing because they're not going. There's going to be time because once the season starts, they're not going to play that much unless somebody is hurt.
Mhm.
So they need to get as much, as they can game time, and because they're not getting the same kind of reps during practice either. So I think that's how you kind of, for me, that's where you differentiate or balance it out. The starters, practice, emphasis, and everything is on them. These preseason games, gets these guys who are my secondary and tertiary backups, those that we have question marks about, and improving the depth and being able to coalesce your team in that regard.
That's a good argument for that.
Yeah.
Very good argument. See, that's why you're the expert, man.
Yep.
I didn't think about that. You're exactly right. Exactly right. Now that brings me to the defense. We talked about, improving
They need to
depth.
be out there every day of the week. No, I'm just...
Are you guys worried about this defense here?
Yes,
Kobe
I
Bryant,
am.
you signed him to a big deal, safety from Seattle, and looks like he's gone for
The year.
6 months now. That's probably the season.
That's the season, bro.
That's the season. So
Hopefully, make the
losing a safety
playoffs.
there. Kyler
He'll
Gordon,
be
I don't
good
know
to
what's
go
going
in.
on. I don't know what's going on with Kyler Gordon now.
Yeah, he'll
Uh,
be hurt. If he
he's
ain't hurt
hurt
now, he'll be hurt again later.
now. Balled out,
Trust.
balled out during the playoffs last season,
Okay, that's
but
nice.
is gone now. Coaching staff hasn't, they really haven't said anything um, glaringly
Not a good
positive
sign.
about him, which is
Right. A
not
good
good.
sign.
Um, this defense worries me a little bit. You lost a couple linebackers and Edmonds.
Edmonds,
TJ Edwards is coming back from a broken leg. You did sign Devin Bush from Cleveland. He
five
should
foot
be a
nine of.
difference maker.
I
I
know he's
think
listed at five. He's listed at 5'11", but all 4'9" of
So yeah, question is this are you worried about this defense?
them.
Yeah. I mean, what's different? I mean, the changes we brought in, I mean, the one major change is out
You
for the
out.
year.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, have to worry about them. I mean, it's hard to expect them to replicate the turnovers that they did from a year ago. It's hard to expect that. Because even in that, they were still bad. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like
They were
so,
what, 20, they were 25th
yeah,
in
like
total
so,
defense, something like that last season.
Maybe overall, yeah. And they were last in a lot of other categories, or
Yeah.
second to last, or last. Yeah, giving up 5 yards a carry for the
yeah,
most part, and yeah, I think they were like 29th or worse when it came to like rushing touchdowns. They gave up a lot of points.
yeah. So
Yeah.
It's
it,
just
it so hopefully, I mean, I to be fair, I haven't been in tune as much lately because of my schedule, but I've seen little things, and I've seen Ben Johnson saying he's expecting the offense to score a lot. Like, I think his mindset is we got to play offense for our defense. And the more we score, the more pressure we can put on the opposing offenses. That maybe still gives our defense that takeaway ability that they showed. So hopefully that aspect stays in play. But yeah, I'm not very confident in our defense going into the season. We still don't have a
Confidence.
pass rush, right?
No,
Unless
well,
this
Um,
is something.
no,
Right.
no.
That's I mean
You're pretty much coming back with your same
the
defensive
same,
line, defensive
yeah.
front as last year. You're hoping that Montez Sweat is able
Man,
earn the money that he's getting
man,
this year.
hoping that
You're hoping that Dio how do you
Yingbo,
pronounce
Teddy Yingbo.
Out of Yingbu. You're hoping that he comes back from his injury and produces. You're hoping that Austin Booker, who was a what was he, a third round draft pick,
mm,
No, fifth.
fifth round draft
yeah,
pick. Okay, in
And they
his
went back
third
in the draft and got him.
season is going to make that jump as a pass rusher. And
and
he did some decent things last year.
and then all
Uh,
them hopes, you hoping that they just grab their, you know what, and just go ahead and go get Max Crosby. That's enough hopes.
Uh,
in
uh,
recent history, we have seen something like that happen. Talking about when the Bears went out and
Khalil.
got Khalil Mack from the Raiders.
Yeah. The thing about hope is not a strategy.
Sure. Hey,
So,
George McCaskey told us that today.
yeah.
Hey,
So, yeah, I was wondering when he used it right back at him. He used his own words right back at you. Uh, you know, without getting into the weeds and without trying to sound as a optimistic Bear fan or overly optimistic Bear fan, there are things that I feel okay about with the defense. I believe that this defense will be a competent defense. I don't believe it'll be one that'll be shooting itself in the foot, so to speak. Excuse me for a second. Because again, having the same defensive coordinator and guys understanding a little bit more about their roles and how to work within that system, I think that will help them a bit. I do have a lot of faith in the coaching staff. I do believe that having players healthy, because again, there are guys that were hurt last year. So if some of those guys along the front, especially the front four, can stay healthy within a couple of the new additions, at least you get a rotation. And so you can keep guys fresh. And so even if it's a matter of applying pressure, if not the sacks, but applying pressure and being able to sustain that throughout the course, of a season while these guys are, getting more and more attuned to one another and how each other plays. And there are some playmakers at positions. Bush was a playmaker with Cleveland. He was able to capitalize on opportunities. You have a young safety who he's a rookie. We don't know, but athletically he tests off the charts. And if you look at his college career, he was a playmaker. You have a very good secondary. That's still the strength of this defensive unit. So those things are still somewhat in place. And you've added a little more depth in that regard. I think, though, what the defense needs to be, it doesn't have to be great. We're so used to here in Chicago, the defense being the lead part of the story, being the major, character in the narrative of any success that we've seen in Chicago in our lifetime. And historically, it's going to be different. And I think that's to your point is I think that's why Ben Johnson kind of said what he said to put that onus on the offense so that that onus could be taken off the defense, the pressure for the defense to have to be stalwart. They just needed to be competent, needed to be competitive and not do anything to compromise the team's opportunity to win games. Because if the offense can score, and I believe they scored around 25, 26 points, I think, or something like that last year. I don't think they'll jump up to beat the Broncos or to beat that. I know that's what he put out there that he wants to beat what the 2013 Broncos did, which was like 37.9, basically 38 points a game. I do believe the Bears are probably they are going to jump up. I believe they'll be somewhere between 28 and 32, and maybe a lot closer to 32. They may have to be, especially early on, until that defense can become a little more solidified. If some guys coming back and just, finding a rhythm within themselves. The offense, I feel very good about the offense. I think everyone sees the offense as potentially, explosive, especially anything we've ever seen in our lifetime. But that offense is going to have to protect the defense.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair to our defense last year, you said our offense scored like 25 a game. A lot of that was coming in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
To be fair.
That's true. Defense do things to keep you in it. Yeah.
So like our defense was doing enough to keep us in games. It was a lot of a bend don't break type thing, and then we get a turnover or something. But
opportunistic.
Like, now, if our offense could come out from start to finish and be productive, I think that really should help the defense a lot.
It's funny you mentioned the 2013 Broncos. This team might look a little closer to the Colts team that beat the Bears in the Super Bowl, because that defense was like among one of the worst historically until they got to the playoffs, and then they were able to. When the safety came back, when the safety came back, Bob
Sanders.
Bob Sanders.
I'm sorry, Bob Sanders. Yeah. When he came back, all of a sudden it was like, and they weren't great, but they were good and competitive and competent. And then, so he went on to win a Super Bowl. So and that offense was very prolific. Obviously, they had a tight end, 2 wide receivers, running back, quarterback, offensive line, all that stuff. So the Bears might look a little closer to, in terms of production wise, to that Colts team, and the team as a whole may look like that Colts team, because the defense was not really good. They actually had 2 decent pass rushers, borderline Hall of Fame pass rusher, but they were soft in the middle. They couldn't stop anything, So hopefully the Bears. Yes, short answer. We are worried about the defense. Am I petrified? No, not yet. But is it concerning? Unequivocally, so it is. Yes.
I think it's just the gut punch of the new guy being gone for the season, and we were so happy about him.
Here's the deal about that, though, and this may be the former defensive lineman in me speaking, but if there was somebody to be out for a long period of time at this point right now, it would be the safety that I would say, okay, I'm cool with that. It's got to be, in my opinion, and
yes. That's the last line of defense. You don't want that guy going.
Last line of defense, but it's really one of the easiest positions on the field to play.
But everything, I mean,
you play in space. And like I said, this is the defensive lineman in me talking. You play in space. You don't necessarily get touched. Don't let anything behind you. Make a tackle. Make tackles. That's the position, right?
So that means you put the defense. It starts with the line, the D line.
Exactly right. Right.
So I understand where you're coming from there. If our line do their part, the back end should be
absolutely. So
because we have a good back end, but we didn't really see that much last year because our line was giving quarterbacks 30 seconds to throw a ball.
Yeah. and our, we had our number 1 cornerback was out for most of the year. He did gut himself back, and I really appreciate that. But he's healthy this year.
3 cornerback was out. Number 4 cornerback was out.
Yeah. So, am I a little worried that Kobe Bryant is out? Sure, but I think they can overcome. They can hopefully overcome that if their plan on the defensive line works out. We'll see if that works out.
All dictates there.
Speaking of, you brought up the 2013 Broncos. Hey, I'll be happy if they could be the 2013 Bears offense and just have a defense that's middle of the pack. Because remember how bad the Bears defense was in 2013.
Yeah, I don't want them to be like any Bears offense I've ever seen.
I'm just saying. I'll be fine. I am too. I'll be fine with the 2013 Bears. That's all I'm saying.
I'll be disappointed, worried, frustrated as hell.
They put up some points that year, man.
I want them to look like any Bears offense I've ever seen. Ever. I'm talking half a century of watching these boys. Man. I want them to look nothing like that. Nope. No, sir.
Hey, fellas, let's call it right here, man. Once again, glad to see you guys. It's good to record again. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I want to thank everyone for listening. We greatly appreciate it. You can find our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. I'm missing something.
Out of practice.
Yeah, YouTube, it's been a while. YouTube. Or wherever you find your favorite podcast. Wait, no. It goes like this. It goes, you can catch our video, the video of our podcast on YouTube. Go to HP53 Productions on YouTube and you'll find us there. Let's see if you remember this, Glenn. Yo, Glenn.
Yep.
Please take us out.
Hey, it's like we always say here on Easy Smoking and Gina podcast. We ain't saying we right. Just don't think we're wrong.
You're much better than me, buddy. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.